Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Fall Semester 2020. My name is Marian Helm. I teach academic writing in the Office of Global Engagement at University of Wyoming. And as many other institutions of higher learning have done in the United States, our university has made online teaching and learning an option for us, both students and faculty, this semester. We would like to share some ideas that may help make an online platform seem a little friendlier. First, if you're using Wi-Fi, everyone, don't panic if you get disconnected. If you're in a public place, try to sit as close to the router as you possibly can, but even so, things happen. And if you get disconnected, just log back on and apologize to the people on the forum. As you would do in a seated or in-person forum, remember you're accountable for your presence in class. We have a technical term known as online presence, and that's how we present ourselves, of course, in front of a camera or in front of the microphone. We're expected to take an active part in synchronous discussions as well as in the asynchronous written threaded discussions. Try to respond promptly to threaded online discussions. Some instructors have deadlines for responding to the initial post, which often should be done before you can enter the conversation and talk to anyone else on the thread. This is a good idea. Always use a calendar, class, to keep track of due dates for things that are coming up in your class and also other events, perhaps on campus, but in your own personal life. It matters not whether you use a paper calendar or whether you use an electronic calendar. Just do whatever you have to do to stay abreast of what's going on in class. Set up a physical space where you can work without distractions and where you can organize your materials. If you live with people, such as your family or a roommate, let them know that you'll be working online and that you would like to have some peace and quiet. Try to keep a regular time that fits your personal schedule for working in class. Some people work more effectively when they have a routine. Whatever works for you will be fine. One of the advantages of using a digital forum like this is that you can go to class for the most part whenever you're ready to do it, whenever it's convenient for you. And in this way, we can meet our objectives for the class at very little, or at least less, personal inconvenience. Before school starts, try to familiarize yourself with online platforms that we use at the University of Wyoming, including things like Courses, Zoom, VidGrid. Other instructors use screencasting forums. Whatever they use, try to make sure that you understand how to find these tools and how to access them. And it goes without saying, class, practice using digital tools before class meets. Otherwise, you'll be like me, clicking around on there trying to figure out what will work on there. It's a waste of time. Tutorials are available on Courses and online. And if you see something you would like to learn more about and you can't find a tutorial, approach your instructor to see if they have any advice for something they can suggest that would help you out. It goes without saying, everybody, when you have a reading assignment, do it. Try to stay abreast of the reading, stay ahead of it if you possibly can. Some instructors put in the syllabus words to the effect that reading must be done before you come to class. And that's a good suggestion because when you know what the content is about, your comments in class will be a lot more meaningful and you'll feel a lot better about your control of the subject matter. Try to approach all assignments with the intent to ask a question or make a comment. Remember that you are part of the conversation and you can help move dialogue forward by adding your own perspective. People expect to hear from you. Please give them a chance to hear your thoughts. as always, take notes as you would in a seated class. Research has shown that if you write something down, you tend to remember it better, remember it more efficiently, and also for a longer time. Whenever you have some question about procedure for class, about an assessment, about an assignment, communicate with your instructor by email if necessary, or use your cell phone. Any way you can find to communicate with your instructor. Don't let time pass. Do not languish there in spinning your wheels, not knowing what you're doing. Always get with your instructor and see what you need to do. It is our job as the instructor to help you be successful in these classes. When you're using a webcam, be aware of things that are in your surroundings. These are going to be visible to your audience, obviously. And if you squint hard at this slide, you can see that in the background, the student has a messy desk, a bunch of stuff lying around, his CD player is out, tape recorder, and so on. Some people think it isn't PC to show such informal surroundings. Others might be offended. It's just better to present a more professional appearance on the webcam. A lot of people like to mute their microphone when they're not talking during presentations, particularly on Zoom. If you do this, remember that you should turn the video back on, or not the video, turn the audio back on before you talk. Some people have found themselves in the semi-embarrassing position of trying to speak and not having any words being recorded on the tape recorder. This advice here about finding a way to send a private message applies when we have something we'd like to say, but we don't really need to bother the entire audience with it. Sometimes it saves time not to become wrapped around the axle on small details. There just may be things that the whole class doesn't need to know or doesn't want to know. So if you can find a way to send a private message to someone, perhaps the instructor, you can do that. Finally, everybody, just be realistic. Online platforms will not replicate an in-person setting. For one thing, online we don't have access to the speaker's body language. We don't have access to their micro expressions, perhaps because of the webcam or lack of webcam. It may be there's certain other aspects of nonverbal communication that we won't see, and these add a lot to the message. Digital communication offers a lot in terms of flexibility, for scheduling, for personal convenience, and all these other things. But remember that it's not the same thing as actually sitting in front of or next to someone. It may not be perfect, but digital learning can certainly serve us very effectively if we give it a chance. Thank you all very much for your attention. This fall has all the potential for us in achieving our academic and personal objectives for growth. Good luck.